News Matt in the building. What's good, y'all? Hope you're having a blessed day. And man, oh man, this 5-star recruit and one of the best players in the entire country just did one of the craziest and maybe one of the most controversial things we've ever seen. It's really odd because we haven't seen this before and some people are agreeing with him, but on the other hand, some people don't. I'd say it's split roughly 50-50 and we got a lot to talk about with this entire situation. So if you're new to the channel and love basketball content, what are you doing? Join the family, hit that subscribe button and leave a like for more. Now without further ado, let's get into it. Before we get into that real quick, I do want to touch on this a little bit because people were even asking me about this in my DMs, but Mikey announced on Twitter and he said that he is going to reopen his recruitment process. Here's what he had to say, quote unquote, "I'm deciding to reopen my recruitment and see what the future has planned for me." Now, when a couple of people were sending me this, I had the same question that you probably have. When did Mikey even commit and who is he committed to? After doing some digging and looking into it, here's what he really meant. I low-key forgot about this and I don't even remember it happening, but he did make a top 10 list a while back. And in that top 10 list for schools, he did have a lot of HBCU colleges in there. So what he means by that is that he wasn't committed, but now he's opening back up his entire list. In other terms, and to dumb it down even more, he doesn't even have a top 10. This was kind of a big deal because it actually made people mad because they were saying that he only put those HBCU colleges in there for attention. And it was also quote unquote a trend at the time. I'm not going to say too much about it because it really doesn't matter. We see recruits do this all the time. You can feel how you want about it and do what you want with this information, but he's still not closing the door on going to a HBCU. I did want to touch on that because some people were confused, but now we can get into the interesting stuff. Roughly a day or two ago, there was a big announcement, and that announcement was that Patrick Baldwin Jr. was going to decide which college he was going to play at. For those of you that don't know Patrick, he is ranked as the 4th best overall player in the entire country. Obviously, he's a 5-star recruit, and some people feel like he can be a lottery pick and be a one and done. I'm not going to say too much about his game. All you need to know is that he's a great player. He comes in at 6'9", 220 pounds, and he can do everything. He can pass, shoot, dribble, defend, and he's really athletic. I could go on and on. He's just really good. That's all you need to know. And normally, and typically for these top players, they go to a major D1 program. It doesn't necessarily have to be Duke, Kentucky, Kansas, or any of the Blue Bloods, but they go to a Power 5 conference. But what was different about Patrick's recruitment process was that he narrowed down his options to these 3 schools. The 3 schools that he was going to choose between was Georgetown, Duke, and the University of Wisconsin-Milwaukee. I know what some of you are sitting there thinking. What in the world and why in the world would the University of Wisconsin-Milwaukee even be in his top 3? Casual fans and people that don't keep up with him or college basketball would think this is crazy, but when you understand why, it makes more sense. Patrick's dad is the head coach of Wisconsin-Milwaukee. But hold on right there. Some people still thought he was a lock and he was for sure going to go to Duke. You know, there was the whole theory that he put them in the top 3 just to make his dad happy. And most people don't even realize that a lot of these players, they don't go to the schools that their parents want them to go to. They make the decision themselves. People knew it was a legit possibility that he might go there, but people weren't going to believe it until it happened. Yeah, I think you know where this story's going. He announced and shocked everybody and said that he was going to sign with Wisconsin-Milwaukee. I don't think some people quite understand at how big and major this is. This isn't a 3 or 4-star recruit. This isn't even just a 5-star recruit, but he's ranked as the 4th best overall player. And I understand it, his dad coaches a school, but he's going to Wisconsin-Milwaukee. I'm not going to look it up, and I'm sure somebody in the comment section will bring up a brief example, but going off of the top of my head, I don't know if there's ever been another case of this. A top 5 player going to a non-Power 5 conference, and at that, Wisconsin-Milwaukee? It doesn't just stop there because we gotta talk about something that's important. I'm very curious, let me know how you feel about this situation, but I'm gonna be very blunt about this. I think he messed up big time. This isn't one of those non-Power 5 schools that are really good. Milwaukee is really bad. I could understand his decision more, and I may not even be making this video if Milwaukee was 25-5. But listen to this. In the last 3 seasons, Milwaukee went 9-22. After that, they went 12-19. And in the most recent season, they went 10-12. This isn't just a mediocre team. This is a bad team. There's no other way to put it. They haven't even been close to having a winning season in 3 to 4 years. Only real hoopers are going to understand what I'm about to say, so pay attention. He's going to get his points and he's still going to shine there. I'm not worried about that. What I'm worried about is that when you play with people that aren't as good as you, it makes you look worse. That's why you see a lot of these top recruits go to IMG Academy in Montverde. When you play with other great players, it's going to lift your game up. But when you're the best player in a room full of average players, there's only one way to go, and that's down. It's not even about basketball. This is real life knowledge. It's better to be the dumbest person in a room full of smart people than the smartest person in the room full of dumb people. If you're the smartest person in the room, then you can't get more educated and you can't go any higher. But if you're the dumbest person in the room, the only way is up, and those other people are going to bring you up. That's why I think he messed up, because I still think he's going to go to the NBA, but he needs to learn to play with other great players too. And I get they're college athletes, and I'm not knocking the team. Well, I am knocking the team. Milwaukee, they don't have great players like these D1 and major D1 programs. I know they're D1, but I'm talking about Kentucky, Duke, and all the nice and good schools. And I already know some people are going to be like, well, Matt, Ja Morant went to Murray State. And yes, but there's a difference. Ja Morant didn't get recruited by all these big time programs. I think even NBA scouts would agree with me. They want to see him play with other great players. He's going to get to the NBA. We know that. There's a big difference from playing with Milwaukee kids and other kids. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but it's sort of a high risk because the guys on that team are nowhere even close to his talent. At the end of the day, it's not the biggest deal in the world, but it's an interesting topic to even think about. That's one thing to keep your eyes on going into the college season for next year. Will he be a Michael Jordan for that team and take over and average 30 points per game, or will he take a back seat and only average 10 to 12? Oh yeah, one thing to talk about too before I forget is that some people are speculating that he chose to go there to save his dad's coaching job. That right there makes a lot of sense because that team has been struggling in the past couple of years. I do think one player that's really good, like Patrick is, he could change the entire program. Let me know what you think about that situation in the comment section, but we're going to end this video off with this. Skyy Clark, who was also a 5-star recruit, has transferred to Montverde Academy for his senior season. The only reason I'm even bringing this up and talking about that topic is because it goes hand in hand with what I just talked about. He's a great player, but for him to reach his full potential, he's got to play with other great players, and that's what he's going to do at Montverde. Him going to that school and program's only going to benefit him more and get him ready for the NBA. Drop your comments down below. Let me know what you think about all this mess. But with all that being said, that's going to wrap up this video. Hope you guys enjoyed. Hope you guys learned something. If you're new to the channel, what are you doing? Join the family. Hit that subscribe button. I see you. You're sitting in bed. Dude, just hit the subscribe button anyways. As always, let's be great. Road to 3 milli. I'm out, y'all. Peace.